Now, let's solve 3x equals 18. On this one, it's very important to realize what's going on here. That's not 3 plus x or 3 minus x, that's 3 times x. So now you want to think, what's the opposite of multiplication? You will think division. So we're going to divide by a number that gives us x. In order to give us x, you need to realize that x is the same thing as 1 times x. So if we divide by 3, what that means is 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 1 times x is x. So with addition and subtraction, I'm trying to make the number a 0. With multiplication and division, I'm trying to make it a 1. Which it does when you divide by that number in front of the x. But always remember this. What you do to one side of the equation, you have to do the other. So you got to divide the right side by 3 also. Notice how I bring down everything that I haven't used yet. 18 divided by 3 is 6. And the answer is x equals 6. Check it. 3 times 6 is 18. Now this next one, a lot of people miss this one. When you read that, a lot of people think that you add 5 to both sides. That isn't the case. We're always looking at the operation. This is negative 5 times y. Once again, how do you eliminate multiplication? Or what and does multiplication? Division. Normally I just go ahead and write the fraction line beneath both sides. And I'm thinking, what do you divide by to get y by itself? A lot of people think it's just a 5. But if you do that, a negative 5 times a positive 5 is a negative 1y. We don't want negatives, we want positive y's. So you need to make sure that you're dividing by what's in front of the y. What number is in front of the y? Not 5, but negative 5. That's a key place where people miss these problems. Don't forget, once you do to one side, do the other. Those cancel out, which leaves the 1. The 1 times y is y. And 45 divided by negative 5 is negative 9. Let's do some work. You're going to find out these solving equations pretty much have the same steps over and over again. Here we go. We have division. We're dividing by 4. How do we eliminate that 4 being divided? Well, we're going to multiply. Once you do the one side, do the other. Now if you don't know, this 4 is the same as 4 over 1. When you multiply 4 times x, you get 4x, and 1 times 4 is 4, because you multiply fractions straight across. And then 2 times 4 is 8. And 4 divided by 4 leaves a 1, and 1 times x is x. Now here's the thing, we could eliminate these 4's up here. Cancel them out. And with that will let us a 1. I'll do that here. This is a negative 5 being divided. We need to eliminate that to have x by itself, so we're going to multiply. Anytime I have negatives, or most times I'll multiply, use parentheses. So what we multiply by to get x by itself? Well, negative 5. Because what's opposite divided by negative 5? Multiplying by negative 5. What you do to one side, do to the other. Those negative 5's cancel, leaves an x. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45. Now this problem right here, a lot of people make mistakes with this one. Keep in mind the purpose for adding and subtracting terms to either side is so we can end up with x's on one and numbers on the other. And the reason for that is because we're trying to get like terms on one side and like terms on the other. And as you look here, we do have like terms, 10x and 9x. They both have x's, but they're not like terms. Or they are like terms, but they're not on the same side. That's what I meant to say. This negative 2 doesn't have an x, and also it's the only one that doesn't have an x. So this is the least of our concerns. We're not going to worry about it. We need the 9x and the 10x on the same side, away from the negative 2. A lot of people think that you automatically take that 10x and move it over here. But if you do that, you have everything on one side. We don't want everything on one side. We want x's on one, numbers on the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate this 9x from this side. And that does two things. One thing is it isolates the negative 2, which is the only number without an x. We wanted it isolated. Another thing it does is it puts all of our x's on one side so we can combine them together. 10x minus 9x is 1x. 1x is the same as x, and you're done. X equals negative 2. Now the next few examples just have one additional step, and so just be aware this will happen. And the whole idea of these is trying to make the problem shorter as fast as possible. And as you look here, look on each side of the equal sign. We have x plus 6. Can't do anything with those except write them down. But look on the right side, 1 minus 3. What is 1 minus 3? Those are like terms. You can combine them together and you get negative 2. And now we're back to doing the same steps as before. Subtract 6 to isolate the x. We get x equals negative 8. Over here, notice we have y terms on the same side already. Go ahead and combine those together. Negative 6y plus 7y is 1y, also known as y. Then we still have that minus 1 and the 17. And we just bring those down. We're back to doing the same steps. How do you isolate the y? You eliminate the 1 being subtracted by adding 1. What you do to one side, do the other. Y equals 18. Some people like to mark those out, and that's fine. Look over here. All we have on the left side is a 10, but on the right side we have two variables, or two terms that have the same variable, m in this case. What that means is you keep the m and take 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. To finish this, we isolate the m, and that's negative 2 times m, so we undo multiplication with division. And we divide by the number in front of the m, which is a negative 2, because negative 2 divided by negative 2 is a positive 1, and 1 times m is m. 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Look at this one. Negative 8 plus 6 is a negative 2. Just write down the right side, a over 3. We have division. Let's multiply then. Let's do to one side, do the other. Those cancel. It leaves a equals negative 6. Notice it does not matter which side the variable is on. It does not make a difference. Right side, left side, doesn't matter. Over here, look at this one. Left side we got negative 4 and minus 10. We can combine those together. Gives us negative 14. On the right side we have two y terms, 4y minus 5y, which is a negative 1y. Not y or 1y, it's a negative 1y. Once again, we don't want a negative value or negative variable. We want a positive y in this case. So we need to eliminate that negative 1 that's been multiplied by division. What you do to one side, do the other. Negative 14 divided by negative 1 is 14. The steps are very, very important.